Hey team, quick note about this video. I originally made this back in February while I was still recovering my voice from the flu, hence the use of a text-to-speech gag for this one. But it fell to the wayside to focus on more time-sensitive video topics when my voice came back. I debated re-recording it with my actual voice, but full disclosure, I make these videos while holding down a full-time job and commitments to elders in my family, so I gotta be tactical with my free time. And seeing as I want to get a couple Invincible videos out before it as a topic goes dormant for a year, and also realizing just how much more of a pain editing 80% of Conquest's footage is going to be for YouTube, I've decided to keep the text-to-speech gag for this one. Regardless, I hope you enjoyed the video.
Hello. You're probably wondering why I sound like the robot the conspiracy theorists claim I am. Which I'm not. Yes, this isn't helping my case. Well, long story short, while recording all of my planned videos for my debut, I caught the flu that's been going around, and even after being better, my voice was still in no shape for recording even after a week. So needing to keep my buffer videos going and also seeing the face of God high off of cold medicine, I downloaded this awful text-to-speech device into my helmet to continue. However, I didn't want to ruin a review of something good with this budget Zentrea set up and needed to find a series to talk about that I cared so little about and matched the soulless and generic energy of my current voice. And then Fruitmaster kicked down my door saying, "I got you." Hi there, Phantom Skull, the currently sick comic book VTuber here, and today we look at Bogus skill, Fruitmaster, as a good example of the cookie-cutter slop plaguing the JRPG fantasy genre of anime, and see if there's any unspoiled fruit to be taken from this factory default show. I just realized since I'm phoning it in with this speak and spell mod, I can let it say the pointlessly long title of this show. Bogus skill, Fruitmaster. About that time I became able to eat unlimited numbers of skill fruits that kill you. God, I hate modern anime titling trends. You may also be wondering why I bothered to watch this with how I feel about generic JRPG fantasy anime. Well, it's still a genre I love, much like the equally bloated superhero genre, so I do like giving shows a chance to wow me even if they aren't exactly making something super brand new. Also, while I was sick with not much else to do besides sleep and watch stuff in bed, alongside all of my good shows for the season mostly caught up, I was desperate for something to binge, and Fruitmaster at least caught my eye with the character designs. Though I will admit it doesn't have much else going for it. The story is about as generic as our black-haired milquetoast empty shell of a protagonist named Light, while real original. Light and his childhood friend Lena, have come of age and are about to consume their own skill fruit, which will decide their career paths. Skill fruits, which are totally nothing like One Piece's devil fruits by the way, are a special fruit that grant the eater a special power. However, the power you get is random and can range from incredible superhuman feats like super speed or sword mastery, to absolutely useless things like natural bug repellent or attracting cats to you. And there are no do-overs, as eating more than one skill fruit will poison and kill you. Your life and career prospects hinges on these fruits and getting a good flashy skill. Light dreams of getting a combat skill and becoming an adventurer. Lena, ever the mold breaker, sarcasm emphasis mode activated, wants whatever will let her stay with Light. Lena ends up getting a super rare combat skill called Sword Saint, while Light gets the seemingly useless skill Fruitmaster, which makes him good at cultivating fruit and nothing else. Dejected at his rotten luck, Lena insists they can go be farmers together, but the Holy Mother, the totally not corrupt member of this church, forces her to get training as an adventurer and cuts all contact between the two. 3 months later, Light is trying to settle into his new fruit farming life, sad at his dreams being cut short. Without a useful skill he can't hack it as an adventurer. He ekes out a simple life selling fruit and also growing more skill fruit. He soon finds himself as the foster parent / brother / something, they never really clarify this, of little orphan girl Isla. One night Isla made dinner for the two and casually mentions she used skill fruit for the meal, being ignorant to how they work and their risks for someone to eat. Nice job making sure the kid you're responsible for knew about the deadly fruit you kept in arm's reach, Fruitmaster. Light lays on the ground choking and cursing at such a miserable end to his short life, only to find out he wasn't dead. And Isla develops the appraisal skill that lets her see the stats and info of anything she sees with her fancy magical monocle. She reveals the Holy Mother somehow missed that Light's Fruitmaster skill has the hidden property of negating the poison effect, meaning he could eat as many skill fruits as he wanted. He also just so happened to get the skill he always wanted. The so originally named Sword God, which is basically described as Lena's Sword Saint but better. Because of course it is. Armed with his flashy skill, Light applies to become an adventurer alongside his, again, small child ward to find success and adventure, eventually rescuing Lena from the crappy high-ranked party she's trapped in, and butt heads with the Holy Mother and her corrupt church mafia grip on the people with good skills get to call the shots parody of a meritocracy. In my Red Ranger iSky review I mentioned how the iSky and JRPG-styled fantasy genre were plagued by a sea of generic sameness in its pickings, and Fruitmaster is a good example. Specifically of the tired guy with a seemingly useless ability turns out to be super cool and powerful and gets to rub it in all of the arrogant people's faces type of story. There is some merit to what the show has to say about people blindly overemphasizing skill and talent for any other quality, but it's a message many have covered in better series. Fruitmaster's world is pretty par for the course. It's a flawed world where you have incompetent bullies like Grouse getting to call the shots just because he has an, on paper, useful skill. But beyond that skill he has zero leadership or problem-solving abilities and causes more issues than he solves, with only the corrupt church strong-arming everyone into accepting their narrative being the reason he keeps getting away with it. They also cover even flashy skills can get you ostracized, as the Dratina arc showing a Count who had the useful ability to summon monsters turning others to fear him when he was no longer useful, and ultimately dying to his own ability when he summoned the wrong thing fighting off the latest assassination attempt. Skills and the people's superficial overemphasizes on them are slowly rotting this world from the inside, and ultimately our, totally original, cultural rebels here are the answer to stopping it. Again, seen this before, and done with way more interesting characters. I really don't have much to say about the main characters. To say they all came out as factory default models would be more of a fact than a joke. Light is everything I despise about this genre's protagonists. No real personality, no mold-breaking quirks, just a blank black-haired nice guy protagonist who has as many layers as an unbuttered slice of toast. The quintessential self-insert wish-fulfillment guy that plagues this genre. His main waifu Lena isn't any better in this category. I wasn't far off calling her a shallow parody of Sword Art Online's Asuna. I mean, look at this. It also doesn't help that she checks all the boxes for a shoddy, action heroine. Despite supposedly being a strong fighter, she still needs Light to rescue her from Grouse and his asshole party, with the Flash wannabe here apparently able to outspeed her Sword Saint skill. She's miserable under this team as they don't care about helping people and shrug off the collateral damage they cause to their lessers since the church covers for them. Despite all the hype about her abilities, she's set up as the typical damsel that Light needs to rescue, challenging Grouse to a duel and whooping his butt to show off just how super cool and powerful he really is. Audible gag mode engaged. After that she settles into the stock waifu category for the rest of the series with her only real nugget of character beyond worshipping the ground Light walks on being investigating her shady ex-boss the Holy Mother, getting tired of her crap. To be honest, I found later character Monica could have worked as a more serviceable co-protagonist heroine. While her character is nothing I haven't seen before, she still has more personality and motivations than Lena that make her interesting. She's a hustler, funny, and shares the stubborn streak with her father, and shows the struggles of trying to make it without people pressuring her to use her skill one specific way. With her super refinement skill she could make amazing weapons, but refuses to since she remains haunted by the fact one of her weapons was used by bandits to kill her sweet old grandma. Even though she struggles to sell her novelty kitchen items, she still tries to make it work, and stick to her ideals. While I predict she will eventually get over her hang-ups about weapons, she's shown more character in 2 episodes than Lena has all season. Then we have little Isla. She's okay. She serves the role as a cute small child sidekick to Light, and thankfully passes the depressingly low bar of anime of keeping her a sweet kid and not sexualizing her. She's a cute kid who obsesses over earning pizzas and getting to adventure with her big brother and sister. However, her presence does really showcase how much of a terrible foster parent Light is. Besides the fact he failed to educate her about the incredibly dangerous fruit he kept in arm's reach of her, he continues to put her life in danger registering her as an adventurer, something everyone around him questions due to her age, and is bringing her on quests. Reminder that Isla is a literal child whose only ability is to see people's wiki articles and stat sheets, and this moron brings her to a haunted mansion where dozens of high-ranking adventurers have gone missing, and almost dies multiple times to zombies and a death dragon. Somebody call Fantasy Child Protective Services ASAP. Outside of that, there's not much to say about the rest of the cast. Dratina was mostly an interesting antagonist for design reasons. Respectful observation mode engaged. Grouse and his party are the stock asshole hero party trope who become inconsequential quickly. The only other character so far has been aloof antagonist the Holy Mother. She's a serviceable, ominous onlooking villain, being more calm and collected instead of standard one-dimensional jerks like Grouse, but that only goes so far. She's calculating, and pulls out all the stops to try and get Lena back under her thumb, while spiting the malcontent that is Light for upsetting her perfect skill-based society. The team runs into many problems finding workshops that will service them, and other roadblocks due to the Holy Mother's scheming. She also keeps referring to Light as a priori, which hasn't been explained yet but I'm sure will by the finale. Despite this, she seemingly has more going on than just wanting to get rid of him, as she could just send her Black Ops adventurers to do the deed, so beyond her petty political swipes she seems content to watch and see. However, a decent antagonist doesn't make up for the rest of the characters just not being interesting. Not helping things is that the action scenes are just lame. The animation is cheap and stilted, and there's no oomph to fights. Like they spent an episode fighting a supposedly max-level dangerous dragon and not once did it feel like there were any stakes. These dorks literally have enough time to argue about their plan while this supposed 50-man raid-wiping death dragon just stands there with its goofy CG doing jack squat. While I admit this review was made as buffer so I didn't need to sweat rushing out video content, I do want it my best while I recover my voice. I do think it was important to look at this show as a good example of why I appreciate fun mold breakers like Red Ranger Isekai and Zenshu. The JRPG fantasy genre suffers from lazy-by-the-numbers sameness in an attempt to sell waifu statues. While I try to avoid hate review content since I'd rather talk about things that inspire me and I'm passionate about, it's good to look at things for why they don't work. Fruitmaster is a drop in the bucket of sameness and unoriginality without even likable characters to follow during the by-the-numbers plot, and utterly bored me. Was I not desperate for something to watch while sick? It would be one of many I just passed on. Ironically, despite its name, Fruitmaster ended up being a very spoiled fruit in an already rotting basket, and all I can do is toss it and grab what ripe pickings are left to enjoy. Thanks for watching.
Okay, that's enough speak and spell for a long time. Thanks for putting up with my shenanigans, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Got a new mic, so hopefully audio past this one will be much better quality. Be sure to leave a like and a comment. I'd love to hear about your pet peeves with modern anime, or if you want to defend Fruitmaster's honor. I'd honestly be surprised. Be sure to subscribe for more fun videos on superheroes, comics, and anime. I also stream weekly on the Purple site, links below. Thanks again, and I'll catch you all later.